Hey guys, John here. So I finally got done watching the brand new Disney Channel original movie, Upside Down Magic, and I wanted to give my thoughts on it. So yeah, I had been somewhat looking forward to this one. I think partly because I liked the idea that this was doing something that was seemingly a little different than I shouldn't say seemingly that looked to be a little bit different than what some of the other recent Disney Channel movies have done. Disney Channel original movies, DCOMs. It's not like another movie that's kind of trying to be like the next High School Musical franchise. It's just kind of it's more doing a little bit of its own thing in terms of DCOMs. I think another reason that I was interested in this is because I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter franchise, and this looked like something in a similar vein, which we'll get into. And for, I don't know, like the first half of this movie, I was feeling a little bit disappointed, saying it was just kind of okay. But in the second half, it got to the point where it was actually good. Like, I would actually call this like a genuinely good Disney Channel original movie, a genuinely good DCOM, not just like kind of okay or decent, but genuinely good. It's not great. I wouldn't even necessarily call it very good, but it's good, in my opinion, anyway. Okay, so let's talk. Talk about the plot. That is. So you got these two girls. Mainly focuses on a girl named Nori, who's like, I don't know, a teenager, 13 or something like that. She's got a best friend named Rena. Rena is played by the main actress from the really good Netflix kids show No Good Nick. Yeah, so she's and both these actors are good, but they're basically these people who it's a similar thing I said to a Harry Potter thing, where they're these kids who find out that they have magic powers one day, and they end up going away to a magic school where they can learn to get better at their magic powers and use it to, I don't know, help make the world a better place. And yeah, they have this school they go to, and the main character Nori, she basically ends up, she's someone who has the ability to turn to another animal. The animal that she at least wants to turn into is a cat. But every time she tries to do this, she ends up turning into some kind of hybrid animal, like a half cat, half dragon. So she doesn't, her powers are not fully realized yet. The other girl, Rena, she basically, she has the ability to create fire, almost like a firebender from Avatar: The Last Airbender sort of thing. They get to the school. Nori gets placed in a small group called Upside Down Magic. Where people who have the students who have trouble controlling their powers are basically placed in a situation where they're not allowed to use their powers at all. And basically, the way that magic works in this world is that if you don't use it, you lose it. So they're basically just there to sit there and like this underground area with just a few other kids and a teacher who, somebody who's kind of not well liked with the school, ended up doing a lot of kind of the dirty work. And yeah, they're basically just there, so their powers, they cannot use their powers, the power runs out, and then eventually they just go back to the world, never act, with the magic. Very harsh kind of thing. A part of me kind of was like, I don't know, it seems like something that like you wouldn't see people do in our modern world. Very kind of like, I don't know, bigoted in a sense, but I don't know, it's not like human beings have never done anything like that in the past. And I'll get into a little bit what I think this is like an allegory for. But yeah, it's harsh, and so yeah, the girl, Nori, she gets into the Upside Down Magic part of the school, and the other girl, Rena, she gets into the honors program for, the people who create fire. I forget what they're called. And they're both having their own conflicts where Nori is having trouble dealing with the fact that she's in this school where she's, been rejected, and she wants to show that she's, she can do anything these other students can do. And then you have Rena, who is struggling to kind of feel like living up to her full potential of being in this honors program. All the child actors and actresses and young adult ones, I assume some of them are good here. I think there's the adult actors do a pretty good job too. And yeah, it's an enjoyable film. I think it's a nice looking movie, good lighting, good enough filmmaking. The CGI, the effects are pretty solid for a Disney Channel original movie in the sense that they're obviously not going to have the same level of budget as like, I don't know, an MCU film. So, considering it's a TV movie on Disney Channel, considering that kind of lower budget, I assume it's not bad. Like you have the special effects, like when, like I said, the main character Lori tries to turn into a cat instead of being like a hybrid cat dragon. But you had this whole thing where Nori is trying to get her and the fellow Upside Down Magic kids to be accepted and show that they're capable of more than that they think they are. And that's an interesting story. And then you have, like I said, Rena. She has this whole thing where she starts to get kind of tempted by a way to sort of almost do a thing that's like cheating, and I won't get into it, but it becomes an interesting storyline. Now, like I said, I mentioned the allegory here. I feel like the upside down magic thing is an allegory for a topic that I've been reading about and learning about more recently. Basically, things like disabilities and things like certain mental health problems people suffer with, like things like ADHD, OCD, autism, Asperger's, this kind of stuff. And the movie basically goes for a moral that is reflective of a more recent way that people kind of look at sort of these certain disabilities and disorders, where instead of saying this is something wrong with you, this is something bad about you, people will now say it's just a different way of doing things. It's about kind of learning how to work within it and use it to your advantage, and just do it a different way. And it's a good moral, and I like it, and I think the movie's a little bit clever in that way. And it's just handled in a way like it's a good allegory and a good message. So I appreciated that. We get like more into that in the second half, and I think it's kind of a smart way to do it. You have like the main girl Nori, and I think it's 4 other kids. Very conveniently, they have one from like each kind of like magic ability, which is, like I said, it's a convenient thing, but it does serve the story somewhat well, so I can forgive it a little bit. There definitely are some story problems here. I think there's some things that are definitely feel derivative, stuff like Harry Potter, Sky High, that Disney theatrical film, with things like the different schools and the magic school and the different kind of classes and the different, way that they kind of put them into different groups. The whole UDM thing is definitely reminiscent of something like the sidekicks program in Sky High, where you have the heroes and the sidekicks. I know this is based on a book. I don't know when the book came out. I don't know if the book came out before all that stuff. I don't know how similar this is to the book, but definitely some familiarity here, which is fine. They definitely, I think, do enough of their own thing with it that it works. Yeah, but like I said, they have these, there's 4 other kids who are in this school with Nori. 2 kids are actors from the Netflix children's series, live action show, Team Kaylee. There's this one kid on that show who's like kind of an annoying, gross kid on Team Kaylee, but here they actually make him likable and enjoyable, so that's good. They have another girl from Team Kaylee, and she's good in this movie. I really enjoyed the teacher character, who's just kind of, who's the guy who's in charge of the Upside Down Magic kids. I don't know the name of the actor, but he does a good job making the character kind of enjoyable to watch. He's like this wisecracking guy, and for a lot of the movie he's cynical, but later on he becomes more open-minded to the idea of trying to change the way things work. So it also has that kind of theme, I guess, of like, I don't know, like activism and trying to like make the world a better place. And a certain, I guess you could almost call it a civil disobedience kind of thing, which you have to be careful with how you go about it. But there's definitely some situations where, of course, that can be a good thing and be necessary when people are being treated unfairly in society. So that's, it handles all that stuff pretty well. There are certain things about the movie I think are not fully realized and not fully thought out. Like, it doesn't really fully kind of flesh out the whole concept of the way that some of the other Upside Down magic kids, other than Nori, are able to kind of use their abilities in a different way that's beneficial. Like, it doesn't totally flesh out that idea. Like, it kind of left me being like, wait, how are they doing it differently? I didn't really get that. Like I said, there's some things that are familiar, probably a few plot holes and smaller problems like that. But yeah, overall, genuinely kind of a good movie. I think definitely probably one of my favorite Disney Channel original movies. I've seen like a third of the ones that exist. I've seen some of the more acclaimed ones. Like, I'd say I like this more than something like, I don't know, Xenon. Maybe I'd say I might like it more than Smart House. A little more interesting than that. I think I like it, I don't know, more than High School Musical 1 and 2, definitely. So yeah, good movie. I would check it out. And I guess that's all I want to say. Yeah, good movie, good themes. I had a good time with it. And let me know what you guys think. Did you watch the movie? Are you interested in it at all? If you saw it, do you like it? Do you dislike it? Why? Why not? Feel free to let me know in the comments or on Twitter or whatever. I'll put my social media links down below. Thank you all for watching. I hope to get more videos out to you at some point in the future, and have a good day.